Galway are through to the All-Ireland semi-final after beating Armagh here 4-1 on penalties. It really was one of the craziest games you'll ever see. All sorts of drama. We had red cards at the end of normal time. We had Armagh coming back from deep in a massive hole late in the game to getting themselves back in and getting extra time here. What a dramatic game. The penalty shootouts, Shane Walsh knocked in his, so did Damien Comer, Rob Finnerty and Matthew Tierney with the winning one there. Penalties missed for Armagh. Subi Campbell, he missed the first one. Conor Turbot missed the third one. And Ronan O'Neill, he slotted one in the middle. But it was Galway who come out on top in the most dramatic of fashion here. We had 5 goals shared between the two teams. And really and truly, the way Armagh came back late in the game, or maybe perhaps the way Galway collapsed, you just wondered in extra time how that would go and how it would affect them. But it really was just pure frenetic stuff. The first half, I thought that Armagh played all the ball and somehow went in level, 7 points apiece. Rob Finnerty was a key man for Galway throughout and all the way through extra time. He was excellent for Galway today. He scored 4 points from play. And actually, the inside line for Galway, it was actually Shane who scored the least, even though he was quite instrumental and he knocked over 5 frees. Damien Comer, he scored 3 from play as well. He was really good throughout. But Killian McDade, what a performance from midfield, scored 1-2. Had to go off and get treatment at one stage. It was a red card, of course, for Armagh in normal time. That came from Greg McCabe. He burst the Matthew Tierney really and probably deserved to go. I think it'd be very hard to make a case for him not getting sent off in that situation. But the first half, it was all Armagh, and they probably needed to be going in more than level, which meant that when Galway took over in the second half, it must have been that bit disheartening for them. The goal came from Johnny Heaney, and Galway had been struggling to build up with their build-up play during the first half, and it seemed to be Armagh who were creating a bit better, and they were doing the kick passes into the men inside the 14. They'd come out, collect the ball, feed it to somebody, or else just turn and score themselves. And Galway were struggling to do that, but all of a sudden space opened up in the Armagh defence in the second half, and very hard to understand how Matthew Tierney got through. He took a shot, Ethan Rafferty got a hand on it, knocked it onto the crossbar, it came back out, and somehow Johnny Heaney was left inside on his own. So when the ball was filtered back through by Dylan McHugh and Matthew Tierney to Heaney, he was on his own. Everyone just scarpered from the Armagh backline, didn't pick him up, and they got punished for it. And several minutes later, it was 1-12-13, just a couple of points in it. But then the red card in the 62nd minute for Greg McCabe with that hit. And then a couple of minutes later, he had a couple of more points tagged on from Galway, and they were 116-13 ahead, a 6-point lead, heading into injury time at that stage. There was 71 minutes gone when Kieran Malloy cut over a lovely banana shot. But then it was the next couple of minutes. Subi Campbell hung a nice high ball into the area. Conor Gleeson had to palm it away because he had someone coming in attacking him as well. I think it might have been Ben Creeley. He fisted the ball back out. And Rory Grugan, Hayden Nugent, I should say, he palmed it to the net. A couple of minutes later, a beautiful ball was hung into the area. Rian O'Neill with a brilliant catch. He fisted across the area. Conor Gleeson ends up connecting it, but spilling it and hand passing it out for Conor Turbot to kick it into the back of the net. And of course, there was still time for a little bit more drama when Ethan Rafferty, Rian O'Neill, I should say, had a free out probably 48 metres out, but also out at the side, and knocked the ball over to level the game and take it to injury time. And it was at that stage that the two teams were going off at the Hogan stand side, or the Cusack stand side, going back to the dressing rooms, and they had a huge row with each other. It really did kick off. You could see players getting, Damien Comer had his eye gouged. There was all sorts going off. At the moment, the Galway players are coming over to the supporters, and they're absolutely jubilant getting back into an All-Ireland semi-final. But that row kicked off. You could have expected to see more red cards, but finally it was Aidan Nugent and Sean Kelly, joint captain and captain of the respective teams, who were sent off. And in injury time, it just seemed like Galway had Galway had a little bit more legs. First, Shane Walsh scored a free, then Shane Walsh and James Morgan had plenty of coming together throughout the game, and I think Morgan was lucky that he didn't get red carded during normal time based on an altercation off the ball, and there was plenty of incidents throughout the game. It was quite spiky, but during extra time, Rob Finnerty, he got on the score sheet again. Rian O'Neill with another brilliant free. Justin Kieran, he got a lovely point for Armagh as well. And all of a sudden then it was 216 to 120, a point ahead for Galway heading into the second half of extra time. Rory Grugan scores a goal. So again, it was a high ball in. Rian O'Neill took a very speculative sort of shot. It dropped and bounced. Turbot went in against the goalkeeper, and Grugan was able to get the rebound. But to be fair to Galway, they just came back straight away. And it was Killian McDade with a brilliant goal. He was fed by Billy Mannion. Lovely ball across, and just a brilliant finish. Came surging through. How he had the energy to do that in the 84th minute, and a beautiful low finish. Just afterwards, like the craziness of the game, a ball went in and it broke for Owen Woods, who just hooked the ball, didn't catch or anything, just hooked it with his foot straight over the bar. Very unorthodox sort of score. And Jamar Hall looked like he'd won the game for Armagh. Nice work score. Rab made a brilliant burst up the field. This is the goalkeeper we're talking about in the 82nd minute of the game. Sorry, 92nd minute of the game. And it just, Jamar Hall knocked the ball over the bar, and it was just a case of, can Armagh spoil the next kick out? And they couldn't. And straight up the other end then, Killian McDade again. He scored 1-1 in the second half of extra time. And that was the thing that kept Galway alive. And then once the penalties happened, it was a complete lottery, and it was a case of, did you fancy the converted goalkeeper for Armagh getting a save? He got a hand on one of the penalties for Rob Finnerty, but there was such power on it, he was never going to keep it out. Or did you fancy the native goalkeeper who wasn't having his best day, Conor Gleeson? But ultimately, Armagh got through. It was Galway who got through after a brilliant clash with Armagh. Tough for them to take, tough for Kieran McGeaney to take in his backroom team, including Kieran Donaghy. But Galway and Pádraig Joyce, they're through to an All-Ireland semi-final, and it really does make for a very interesting view. And now, let me know what you think.